What's the difference between a freeze dryer and a dehydrator? There's quite a few, but here's the main ones. People often think that a freeze dryer is just a fancy dehydrator, but they are very different technologies. A dehydrator dries the food by circulating warm air around the food, while a freeze dryer, on the other hand, it freezes the food down to extremely cold temperatures and then puts the food under a vacuum. And with this, the water is removed in a process called sublimation. Basically, the water turns from ice to vapor and skips the liquid part. Because the food is frozen rather than heated to be dried, it preserves a lot more nutrition than the dehydrated food does. About 97% compared to the 60 to 80% of dehydrated food. Dehydrated food also tends to shrink up, shrivel up a little bit, and lose much of its color in the process, while freeze-dried food pretty much looks the same coming out as it did going in. A dehydrator will remove 85 to 90% of the water from the food, and with a freeze dryer, you're removing 98 to 99% of the water. The difference in these percentages gives you a major difference in shelf life. We're talking 1 to 5 years for dehydrated food and up to 25 years for freeze-dried food. But here's the catch. You can get a really good dehydrator for just a couple $100s, but with a freeze dryer, you are starting at about $1,600 and it just goes up from there. My advice is that if you're new to this, start with a dehydrator, but if you've been dehydrating and canning and doing all the other food preservation methods and you really want to just step it up, definitely look into freeze drying. And if you're interested in freeze drying, leave a link in our bio or go watch some of our other videos.